Hello and welcome to Hospitality and Events North interviews. I'm delighted to say I'm here today with Adrian Byne, who's the marketing manager of Benholm Group. Hi, Adrian. How you doing?
Hello, Elliot. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Good. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, we're talking to movers and shakers in the industry to tell us how they're coping with COVID and obviously how the companies are adapting to help the events industry. Just before we go into that, if you could just give us a little bit of background about yourself and the company.
Sure. No, thank you very much for having me on today. It's
Pleasure.
it's good to be here. Um, yeah, just a little bit of background. I'm part of the Benholm Group. One of the partners set up the business originally with my father 27 years ago,
Wow.
and we're based in central Scotland. And the business is all about plants. What we say is we use plants creatively to enrich people, places, and spaces. That's what we do.
Okay.
Um, there's a kind of a lot of other kind of things that we do alongside that, and kind of, but it's all very much plant orientated, if you like. And I got three of my brothers in the business as well, and a number of other staff. And yeah, we set ourselves out to do a high quality job with plants.
Very good. Yeah. Family business then.
That's it. Yeah.
Um, so how much of your business is kind of related to the events, the corporate events industry?
Yes. Okay. So the business as a whole covers a very, very wide spectrum of types of customers. The hospitality industry is a significant proportion. We do also work within the sort of corporate office sector quite majorly, um, and also with retail and public buildings, health as well, or a lot of these other areas. But the hospitality business would be a significant proportion of the business. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. So obviously we've had we all know the situation we're in at the moment, and still a lot of uncertainty within the events industry. How's the company kind of managed to adapt and survive, and how's it looking for you going forward?
Yes, it's been certainly an interesting time. I think everyone's found the same. Um, I think probably the main thing that for us is that I think what the government's doing is absolutely fantastic. I think seeing the things that the government's put into place, and again announced even yesterday, for a lot of businesses and helping the hospitality industry too as well. I think for ourselves, we're just very, very thankful for what the government's done. Just need to get the whole economy kick-started again and get things moving, and I think it will help everybody. But it's been a very challenging time for everyone. But one of the sort of, from our own business is concerned, the maintenance of plants, which is obviously a lot of what we do, is not something you can do from home. Um, and plants do need to be looked after. So
Yeah.
we've found that there's been quite a number of our customers have had their premises open, even if people aren't actually working there, or
Yeah.
perhaps they've had to leave them open for security purposes and so on. Have somebody manning the building. So we've actually been able to get access to a lot of sites, which has meant that we've been able to, if you like, keep a lot of the planting alive, keep things going through this time, and we've found ways to work that we can, do it safely. We've had some of our staff on furlough now. Nearly all of them are back, and we're kind of nearly up to full strength again now. As particularly, there's very few businesses now which are not kind of opening up again. So, yes. And obviously, with the exterior work that we do, that's not really been an issue to keep that going. Doing exterior landscaping and a lot of the outdoor planters and so on, we can get access to without having to meet anybody. So,
Absolutely. So have you had to kind of develop new ways of working or develop some potentially new products?
yeah, we've looked at a new. We've kind of worked on a few new things. We've got a few new products which we've adapted to suit the kind of new environment. The talk about the new normal, whatever that is. But there's a number of things we've been doing. We've also increased our floristry or our flower displays services. So we've actually launched a new online website for that, so you can actually buy flowers online for any event.
Okay.
So that's been a kind of a new thing we've done since kind of lockdown started, if you like. And also we're offering video conferencing calls for talking to customers about what they're trying to do as well. That just really speeds up the whole process and makes it much easier to manage in the current climate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of different things going on, and I think planting is something which sometimes is looked at as an optional extra, but I think what we're seeing is that there's a need, particularly in the hospitality industry, to get the customer's confidence back up, and to actually be able to get the customers back in and not to be kind of too scared by the whole environment, but actually make them feel relaxed, make the place look nice, give them a good experience, which I think is where planting is so key.
Absolutely. I mean, I was gonna sort of touch on that. What is it about the planting and the plants that kind of enhances the environment, whether it be a corporate event or an office or whatever, really?
Yeah, the thing is, you can go back to the science behind it. As humans, we actually have a natural inbuilt connection with nature. It's a kind of a thing we have in our DNA, if you like. That it's kind of it's to do with how we react. I mean, there's a term that's often used now, which is biophilic design, which is actually getting that connection within the built environment with nature and humans, so that you actually feel more comfortable and you actually use the space better. People feel more comfortable, more relaxed, and able to operate like in an office environment more effectively. I think there's a lot of things that planting actually just not only does it look nice, makes the space look nice, but it actually affects the way we feel.
Yeah. Gives you more of a positive feeling, which is so important right now, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about the kind of services and products you offer, and any sort of new initiatives that have come into place recently.
Sure. Some of the new products that we've actually developed more recently is we've got a range of screens. So obviously we're seeing a lot of screens being used for social distancing, and one of the we've developed a kind of new range of actual planters that have a glass screen within the unit, so that it's actually can be used in lots of different places. You can use it inside or outside. It can have wheels on the bottom. You can put branding on the glass, and you can plant it in different ways. It comes in lots of different sizes. And being glass, it's toughened glass and very easy to clean. It's a kind of a win-win situation, and they do look really, really nice. And you compare it to some of the kind of very what should we call it, industrial-looking screens that are being used. It just puts it on a totally different level. It just makes it look nice.
Yeah.
And again, the ability to use them inside or outside means that for outdoor spaces as well, it's great for screening off, and even either between tables or even just privacy from the weather and the people in the street and so on. So
I think it's really important that you said that they look so nice, and obviously we need to do things within our environments now that are practical, but also it's great if they do look great and offer added value.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you mentioned before also sanitizing as well, which you've been able to bring in as part of your offer.
Yeah. So again, it's very much of a compulsory item that you need to have everywhere. Is these sanitizers or a sanitizer station or some kind of ability to provide that. So what we've said is, well, in a lot of environments, you've got a very, very nice looking environment. These things can look very ugly and sort of in your face and in the way and so on. So we've actually developed some that are actually kind of combined with a planter, so you've got much more of an attractive stand, if you like, that's partly planted, and it just lifts the space. It makes you feel like you'd like to have it there than not have it there.
Yeah. Absolutely. So just going onto the events industry itself, obviously it's been massively affected by the pandemic, and I just wondered what your thoughts were, for the future of the industry, really, how you think it may change.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to know at this stage, isn't it? But I think we're seeing that that with the proper facilities in place, there are things that can be done to make it safe, make it workable, and again, I think a lot of the time we're going to be looking at it's all about the experience that people have. There's obviously quite a bit of learning to and developing of networking and all that sort of thing, which a lot of it we're seeing going online now. But I think the idea of these physical events, I think they're not going to go away, and I think it's something that's in time we'll kind of develop better ways to deal with it and handle it, I guess.
Yeah. And what sort of clients have you been working with, and would we recognise any of the names from the events industry?
Yeah, well, we work with a lot of different types of venues mainly, and so there's a lot of kind of hotels and restaurants and all that type of within the whole hospitality industry, and I think there's a lot of events that we've traditionally done as well. The Highland Show in Edinburgh is one of the ones that we're often at, and the Scott Hot event and all these other ones. So I think it's one of those things that working and providing these so that every venue is kitted up, has what it needs to be able to host events safely and attractively. I think it's really, really important.
Absolutely, and let's hope that we get back to some kind of normality. And I, for one, come from a generation of live events, and it's so important for building relationships. But I guess it probably will be a sort of hybrid situation going forward.
I guess, yeah.
Just finally, it'd be great to kind of know how people can get hold of you, and obviously, if you just tell us how we can find you, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. We're actually, obviously, I've mentioned before, we're based in Falkirk in central Scotland. We do most of our work in Scotland, but we do have another amount of provide the services throughout the UK, and we have a network with a number of other companies for ongoing maintenance. There's the website, benholm.com. It's the best place to find us, and the phone number is there's a free phone number, 08000 724 723. That gets you through to the main sales office, and we can help with any inquiries you might have, whether it's some of these new screen planters, or whether it's any kind of planting for any situation, outdoor dining spaces or hanging baskets or anything you might need.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been really interesting, Adrian, and obviously your products are very unique and but of great value for not only events but obviously for the commercial world.
Yes.
Really interesting to speak to you. Thank you ever so much for joining us. We can only wish you best of luck for the future.
Yes, thank you very much. It's good to be on today. Yeah, thank you very much.